I slept without headache. I wasn't sick, nothing was wrong with me. And middle of the night, like around 3 a.m., I woke up to use the restroom and I couldn't stand up. I noticed my breast was as swollen like almost 10 people's head, like a balloon that wanted to burst. It got so bad that a family friend was not like, they need to take the sample to India. That was how he funded it and they took the sample to India. And when the result came back and the report was like, they are sure it was autopsy, they sent this sample for autopsy that because they don't think the person that has this sample is still alive. They said, no, she's still alive, though he's in a bad state. They said, wow, this is the last stage of breast cancer. My name is Ethel Ada Olomu. I'm a stage 4 breast cancer survivor, and I'm also the founder of Embrace Life Foundation, aka Save a Breast. Precisely 2010, early 2010, I had a scholarship program at a Lagos Business School, courtesy of Goldman Sachs. During that scholarship, one of the days, I noticed a sharp pain on my breast, when I woke up in the morning. And my mom being a nurse, I told her that I felt a sharp pain on my breast, and she helped me check my breast, and she said there is a lump on my breast. I didn't even know anything about lump or breast cancer. She said I shouldn't panic, there is nothing to worry, that women normally have a lump, that I should go to the hospital. And I went to the general hospital, the teaching hospital, and the doctor said nothing to worry. Still, nobody was even talking about cancer. I was booked for a surgery. It was an outpatient surgery. I removed it, and he told me that the sample needed to go to the lab to check if there is anything on it. 4 weeks after that, he called me one day and said, my results are out, that congratulations, there was nothing on they didn't see anything, it was benign. I was like, what is that? He said, it means it's not cancerous. I was like, okay, oh, thank God. Oh. 5 weeks after he gave me that result, I slept without headache, nothing, I wasn't sick, nothing was wrong with me. And middle of the night, like around 3 a.m., I woke up to use the restroom and I couldn't stand up. I managed to stretch my hand to the bed and just put on the room light, and behold, I was scared and I was alone. I noticed my breast was as swollen like almost 10 people's head, like a balloon that wanted to burst. The only person I could call at that time was the doctor that did the surgery, that told me that nothing was wrong with me. And he was surprised at what went wrong. I said, I don't know. I didn't sleep with any pain, nothing. And he said I shouldn't panic, that maybe fluids have gathered or something. He just called it one name, something like that. He's going to send me a drug, that I should get that drug and take it, that the swollen will, The next morning, I couldn't go out. You know how one of the breasts is like almost dangling on the ground and the other one is normal. So my friend that used to stay in her house then, she wasn't around. I had to call her to come back to the house that morning. She came back and I told her, help me go get this drug. She bought it for me. I took it the first day, second day, third day, there was no improvement. That was why I called the doctor that, please, I'm coming back to Port Harcourt to see him again. Going to Port Harcourt, how am I going to go to Port Harcourt with one breast dangling and the other one like, she had to go to Yaba. You know this tracksuit that coaches they wear, the very biggest size. She bought it. That was how we used all the wrapper in her house to make ball to fit into the other breast. So at least, I now wore the tracksuit, That was how she took me to the airport, and I go back to Port Harcourt, straight to the doctor's office. He said, okay, that he's going to do surgery again. Maybe something went wrong. That was how they took me back to the theater again. I entered the theater. He did what he did. He said, okay, I'll be fine. That he tried to drain out the fluid gathered and stuff like that. That he tried to drain it out, that I'll be fine. Gave me medication. Weeks. Still in 2010, nothing changed. I had to change doctor. I went to see another doctor. He was like, oh, okay, he's going to do a corrective surgery, that I shouldn't panic, like, okay. I was size 6 or 8 then. And, like a big, heavy breast. So it was killing me, the weight and everything. That was how the second doctor took me to the theater again for corrective surgery. In fact, I passed out. because I was bleeding non-stop. I passed out in the theater. So just God gave me medication, yet no way. I went to the third doctor again. That one said, okay, we are going to do corrective surgery. In all this, by this time, the place has developed a scar, like a wound, fresh wound that is not drying up, coming out with non-stop pores, fluid and blood. It's not just dripping, it's gushing. And guess what? Each time they even take me to the theater, they still take the sample back to the lab. And this sample will come back with nothing. It's clean, like, this person is normal now, it's clean. But looking at the person, she's not well. Because there was no name to it, it's not cancer, it's nothing. So they were just feeding me with the strongest of antibiotics. And I wasn't eating. After the third surgeries and the third doctors, then I said, okay, let's even try alternative therapy, like, local, all these herbs and everything. After 3 months trying something, I didn't work. That was how my mom, my family now said, no, we need to stop this before they just kill me. They had to take the sample to Abuja, it came back clean. They took it to Lagos, it came back clean. They took it to Ibadan, nothing was showing. Like, they said this person is normal. Then the worst part, because there was already a permanent wound there, I can use as much as 20 towels. They just put towel for me there, and immediately that towel drips full. So the only thing, sometimes they will just tell me to take fluid, I will just take water or maybe tea. That was the only thing I was eating for months, for weeks. That was the only thing I was eating. At the time, I was now bedridden. I couldn't stand up again. From the bedridden, I had bed sores, when I can't stand up, because the breast is just, I'm always lying in one position because of the breast, how heavy the breast was and everything. It got so bad that a family friend was not like, they need to take the sample to India. That was how he funded it, and they took the sample to India. And when the result came back, and the report was like, they are sure it was autopsy. They sent this sample for autopsy, that because they don't think the person that has this sample is still alive. They said, no, she's still alive, though he's in a bad state. They said, wow, this is the last stage of breast cancer. And this was like going towards the end of the year. We've been doing this like back and forth for more than 8 months, going to 1 year. We're just looking for solution. When the result came back, and that report came like, this is not treatable again, that it has mutated, like when you mean like metastasized, like almost the whole organ in my body is already, cancer has spread to it. So like, this person, don't bother. We try reaching out to different hospitals in India, no way. America, no, they said, don't even bother, won't even write to give her visa. Still, but my family weren't giving up. And by this time, like every day in my house, they will hold night vigil, we will pray. In fact, now, every day I ask myself, like, God, indeed, I didn't even understand the kind of faith I had then. I was like, God, I don't even know what it is. Right now, they said it's cancer. Like, we didn't even see stage 0, we didn't see stage 1, we didn't see 2, we didn't see 3, and all of a sudden, 4, last stage. And this is me, like, I'm sure, like, I was even hearing breast cancer for the first time. Something that has not happened to anybody around you. It doesn't happen around your environment, or you have to even see who it happened to. So this is breast cancer. She is a name now, they've given it a name. I don't know what it is, it's a name, but I know a name that is higher than it. Jesus, I don't know. Just, if you can just bring me out of this. You know how you be making plenty promises to God, covenant, what you will do for God, how you will do this, how you do that. I will do Thanksgiving, I will roll on the altar, I will make sure I will share my testimony to the whole world, like everybody must hear what, just please do it for me. And while in that process, a friend now ran into another old friend of mine. That was how the woman came, and she was like, okay, so what is the plan? We said all the hospitals rejected us, but there's a particular hospital in India that said, if we can bring 10 million naira cash, we'll have to pay it cash. They'll be willing to look for visa for us. But paying that 10 million naira is not guaranteed for anything, but that because we're insisting that we must look for treatment, that they're not even giving me any chance. And meanwhile, by this time, we've exhausted every fund we had. Like, I've sold my car, everything. She now said, okay, we shouldn't bother going to India. There is a doctor that comes to Nigeria to treat her and her friends. That the man is good, that he's around, he's in Nigeria now, that she's going to call him, That was how he called the angel God sent. In fact, 2 of them The woman that introduced the doctor and the doctor that accepted me, Dr. John Ojukwu, that's his name. And they wheeled me to Abuja, to his place. When the doctor saw me, he was like, wow, you people brought like almost a corpse for me. The first thing he asked me, he said, are you a Christian? I just blinked. That let God do what he will do in your life. For you to still be alive, that is even strange with these reports from me that like you're still alive, that is so strange. That he can't even give me any medication, that if he gives me any medication that I'm going to die. He's going to start me with blood transfusion. We were on blood transfusion for 6 whole weeks, almost on a daily basis. Because he said he needed to stabilize me. He now saw that at least he has stabilized me, and that was when he started the chemotherapy. He now said in all, I'm going to do 9 shots of chemotherapy. After the chemotherapy, I will do surgery, which is the mastectomy. After the mastectomy, I'm going to do radiotherapy. After radiotherapy, I'm going to be on a medication. It's for breast cancer too, tamoxifen. I'm going to be on it for 10 years. You know how you take medication every day for 10 years of your life? Meanwhile, we're still praying, believing God for a miracle. He gave me the first chemo. Chemo is taken once in 3 weeks. He gave me the first chemo, gave me the second chemo. By the 3rd chemo, my breast shrink. He was even surprised. After the breast shrink, he now said, means I'm ready for surgery. I did the surgery, I did my mastectomy. After the surgery, when my surgery healed, I continued the chemo because the course is for 9 sessions of chemo. So the whole of 2011, I was in Abuja taking treatment. After the 9 sessions of chemo is completed, I was now ready for radiotherapy. And by this time, there was no functional radiotherapy machine in Nigeria. The closest place they had it was Ghana. So as I was taking the chemo, he has already booked me in Ghana. I was in the queue because as at then, almost all the West African countries, is Ghana they go to. So exactly 2 weeks to when I'll be traveling to Ghana for my radiotherapy. So one day he calls me up and I said, where are you? I said, I'm in Port Harcourt. He said, okay, that Mikio Medical Center just came to Nigeria, that they have most of the equipment that I need to come and do some scans, some tests to know how many sessions of radiotherapy I was going to do. We went for the whole routine, the test, the scan, went through all the tubes and all the whatever. I finished, dressed up, about leaving, and they called me that please, I should come back, that they need to redo the test again. Maybe there was an error or something. I went in the second time, finished it, about going. Then I said, no. And then I called me again for the 3rd time, meanwhile, with different people. In fact, the 3rd time, it was their Indian Oga that did it. Me, I didn't even understand why they were. And meanwhile, it was still the same routine test, the same process I was going through. That was after the 3rd time. Then I said, okay, I should see my doctor. They've mailed my result, that they're going to mail my result to my doctor. That was how they used to function then. So my doctor now called me and I said, when are you going back to Port Harcourt? I said, the next morning that my flight, I have a first flight. I said, please don't go. Cancel it, maybe shift it till evening or afternoon, that I need to see you. That morning I went to his office. Immediately he saw me from the CCTV, he ran out, like the way he came out. This is my doctor that is almost more than 7 foot tall, like he's very huge. He just came out and the way he just carried me like a baby, I was surprised. He was so excited. The excitement I saw in his face, I was surprised. And I said, wow. He said, congratulations, that indeed your God has answered. I was confused. I said, God has answered her. He said, did you notice that you were repeating the same procedure for like 3 times? I said, yes. He said, because my file that he sent to them and the result that was showing doesn't make any sense at all. Nothing like connects it, like it's not possible, like it's an impossible. You know when you're seeing something that is impossible. I said, okay, so what does that mean? He said, what it means is that there is no, the way he described it, like let me use this word, exactly how he said it. He said your system, the whole of your system is like a newborn baby's system, like as if all your cells are new. And there was no even a stain of cancer in your system. He said it means there is no need for radiotherapy again. That radiotherapy is like a waste, like you don't need it again. And not only will you not take radiotherapy again, even the medication, the tamoxifen you're supposed to be on for 10 years, you don't need it again. I said, so sir, like, I don't understand, what should I do? He said, nothing. Just go, rest. You need at least 6 months or 1 year to rest, recuperate, and before you start doing anything. And that was how it has been. Every year I go for my routine check, and to the glory of God, by the grace of God, this is 11 years. I've not had reoccurrence. I've just been living my life. I got married 2016. That was 6 years after cancer. And the man came, he said, it's you I want. If it's not you, no other person. Talk about children. Science, technology has made it easy. You can do surrogates. You can adopt. There are different ways to have children. So don't even take because of all those things that is supposed to happen in your future that hasn't happened, and you don't want to take treatment. You might die without even achieving those things. And that is why it's also good. Women, check your breast. Check your breast. Like, check your breast. Every other month, check your breast. Immediately you notice anything abnormal, run to the doctor immediately. And when you run to the doctor, yes, we have our family doctors, we have our family hospitals. If you go there and the doctor diagnoses you of cancer, and he's not a specialist in cancer treatment, he's not an oncologist, it's not his duty. Don't say because he's my family doctor, it's him that I trust, he will now use it and do experiment, because I was used as an experiment. Then the medical association should also, their doctors, not every doctor can treat cancer. Please don't let the greed of money, if it's not your field, don't use people to use, don't stop using human life experiments. If you don't know it, you don't know it. Refer them to your colleague that knows it. Refer them to the right specialist. Government should fund the few cancer facilities, centers we have, especially in the government hospital. They should fund it. They should make it a priority, because women are dying daily. We still lack plenty facilities, we still lack. We can afford the technologies, we can afford to train people. I know a lot of women that are working, but their HMO does not even cover treatment. It doesn't cover chemo session, not to talk of surgery. It doesn't even cover consultation. It doesn't even cover medication. So what are we talking about? I'm begging government, please, you see this cancer matter. Until government takes it as a priority, women will keep dying.